Hi, hello, hi, and welcome to All Our Hearts and Minds. Thank you again for tuning in. We're here to discuss all things that have been on our hearts and minds, the good, the bad, the concerning, and uplifting, or just straight talk. We're your hosts, Kimmy, our passionate heart,
Yeah.
and then there's me, Jeanette, our mind and chronic overthinker. Let's get into it.
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Yes.
Your girls are back again
Back
for a
again.
new episode here, beginning of May. It's gonna
hmm
be May.
Yeah.
That meme with
Yes.
Justin Timberlake and what's the name of that group?
who,
What's in
who,
In Sync, In Sync,
in
In Sync.
sync.
I got drew a blank right there. Yeah, so we're back, guys. So we're gonna have a loosey goosey episode, just talking
Yeah.
about a lot of it's topics that have been top of mind in the conversations on social media and on the news and in coffee conversations. So we're gonna have, we call it our liming episode, where we don't have a lot of structure. We just talk about some topics and have fun. Um,
Yes.
before we get into the topics, we always start with a checkup with each other. So Kimmy, how was your week?
Uh, uh a week of realization, but
Yes, yeah.
yeah, realizing a lot of things. But I gotta give God thanks for all that I do have, which I have breath, I have a home, I have a job, I have a beautiful family, supportive family, beautiful
Mm,
kid, you know what I mean? So like I am trying to be thankful
mm,
instead of sad
mm,
or um frustrated and stressed.
mm,
So sometimes I have to do that where I have to flip it in my mind and look at the positives.
mm,
But a realization nonetheless. But we have our health, we have each other, and
mm.
so I can't say it was a fun week, but I can definitely say it was a week. How about
Okay.
that?
It was a week. Okay, let's
Right?
put
How
it
about
that
you,
way.
girl? How you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm just a little bit tired, I think. So I'm gonna be taking a little vacation. So hopefully that will be a good reset for me. I think that's
Yes.
more when it comes to work. In terms of life, I'm pretty good. I was trying to get back into my routine
Yep.
with my classes, because since, I hate to admit it, well, I'll be transparent, since I came back from Las Vegas, and that was in March, my
Mm-hmm.
routine, so my March in terms of like working out and stuff like that was really really not disciplined, not good. So I, as of last week, I started back on it.
Oh, good, good, good,
But
good.
now this trip in between is kind of coming in between. But you know what, nothing's stopping me from working out while I'm on my trip.
No,
I
no.
could do that. I can technically do that. But usually when you're on vacation, usually when I'm on vacation, I walk a lot. You walk a lot anyway.
Well,
Like you're
that's what I
doing
was gonna
double.
say.
You're
You
doing
are
double the
getting your
walk. I find I
cardio.
do like double the walking. You'll have a day. I remember when I was traveling, I went to Europe with my sister. We were walking all 15,000 steps when
See,
we were doing. If we didn't have a beach day, you're doing all
but
15,000
just
steps.
the fact that you're exploring, like you're
Yes,
exploring a
yeah.
new place, right? You're not even really realizing how many steps you're gonna get in until you sit down. When you sit down,
Right?
you're like, ah, yeah, shouldn't have done
Yeah.
that. Got too cozy,
Yeah,
but
yeah, you're like, ooh, I'm
right?
tired now. I feel it. I feel
Feel it
the
in my
15,000
legs,
steps. Yeah.
right?
So
But
yeah, but
you're
so
gonna
yeah,
get you'll get it in nonetheless. Don't you
yeah,
worry.
I'll get it in nonetheless. So, but that's the only thing that I was like, a little bit disappointed in myself for not really trying to get back on the wagon quicker. I let it get it out of hand, but life is life. You just then tomorrow, there's always tomorrow. As long as you're healthy, there's tomorrow to get back on the wagon. So that's what I'm gonna
Right?
do. That's what I've been
Exactly.
doing. But otherwise, yeah, everything is good. I'm blessed.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds like we're lifing.
Yeah. Just lifing. That's
Lifing with the, and we just, all we can ask for is grace, understanding, strength, to stay on the right track and everything.
yep.
So yeah.
Yep.
We're in May. They say April showers. We had a lot of April showers.
Yes,
They bring May flowers.
that's
So
correct.
hopefully, it's really been cold. I don't know. It was a weird week. Like it started off nice and warm, and then the last couple of days have been very cold. But it's we're getting there. We're getting there. We're almost there, Toronto. We're almost there. If you're living in Toronto or anywhere in the East Side, New York,
It's
Chicago, all the
coming.
places
It's
where we get
coming.
4 seasons, it's almost there, guys. We're almost there. Okay, so before we jump into our topics, just want to remind our listeners to rate the podcast, subscribe, and follow the podcast so you are getting notifications when we drop new episodes.
Yes.
Drop us a comment. We love to get engagement, and we appreciate it when you guys do that.
Yes,
So
please.
thanks again for tuning in.
Yes, thank y'all.
All right, so we're just gonna jump into one of the most
Mm-hmm.
steaming hot topics that was on my timeline this week, at least, is
I
Megan
think.
Megan Thee Stallion dropped a message to let us know. I guess there was no reading in between the lines with that. Clearly,
Mhm.
her relationship with Klay Thompson, the basketball player, is over, and unfortunately it was due to infidelity.
Yep. No mincing of any words.
Yeah, because I think they started dating last summer. I think that's when we started seeing them. So
Mm-hmm.
they didn't make it a full year, it looks like.
It was
um
just over a year. Like they
about I would
just
say it's
made a
in the
year.
just around, I guess, yeah, they probably didn't go public till summer 2025, but they were probably dating before
Yeah.
like it was official. So yeah,
Yeah.
about call it let's call it a year.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think as a woman, where I can sympathize with her with this particular relationship because it was so public. I mean, yeah, because it was so public, I think because they were doing all the things that are signaling like a deeper commitment. It's like we're not just dating, we're actually looking to probably be very serious about each other, right? That's what it gave to me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like she was at his family's house
She
for
was cooking for his full
Thanksgiving,
family, okay?
cooking for the whole family. That's a big thing.
That's a
That's
big
not a
thing.
small. That's not a
And it
small.
wasn't no dibby dibby something either. Like
No,
she
yeah, it was
made
full
a
blown.
full blown. She's Southern, right? So she
Yes,
made
yeah,
full blown, meal for these people: collard greens, mac and cheese, the whole nine. Okay. Not only was she standing up in the kitchen, okay, but it was at Christmas. Like this is
yeah,
significant, and I
yeah.
say that because usually Christmas or Thanksgiving, you bring the significant other around your family.
Only when if it's serious.
Only if it's serious, right? Or
Mhm.
well, those would be the markers
Those
of
are the
it
markers.
serious,
Yeah,
right? So when we're seeing her, not only did she go to dinner, but she cooking the dinner too.
she cooked the
Okay,
dinner. Yeah, it's one thing to go, but you're in the kitchen. You're manning the kitchen,
okay. When she could have had her full Popeyes restaurant come and cater that bitch. No,
right?
I'm
Or a
joking,
private
but
chef.
she's
Like,
right. I'm just saying to put that extra touch on it
yeah, the
says a
extra touch of
lot.
personal touch. Yeah. So listen, for me, I sympathize with this girl, and I think it's hard because when she doesn't have her parents, right?
And that all that.
And I
So
think because
imagine
listen, I don't
cooking dinner for his parents and you don't even have any.
yeah. And it's not even
Jesus.
so, but when I think about how her relationship
Living
for like for
parents.
me
Yeah.
personally, I just think she should not date for at least a year.
Yeah, she told us.
Um
She says she told us in the message. She's gonna take a
yes.
real break.
Take a real yes, now take a real because people the thing is you want to be quiet, but then people are hounding you down, so it's
Yeah.
hard. You're gonna get weak, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think it's a comfort when you have that's again, I think it just makes you a little bit more I'm not going to use the word desperate, but just more needy for that kind of closeness with somebody when you don't have your parental
Yeah.
support, and you know what I mean. So not to diagnose, but I can kind of understand it. I think it makes you a little bit more vulnerable in my opinion. Yeah, and so she said something about his mood swings and all this, but long story short, it's like yeah, some he played in her face. That's what it looks like. And we as women know, we've seen men are like they tell you everything you want to hear, but they're not really, the actions don't match the words. And unfortunately, that's seems like what happened here.
Well, poor Meg. Oh
Yeah,
boy,
it
because
sucks.
Meg has been going through it. Like
She's been
she's been
going,
going
girl. Yeah, she's been going through it.
like the last, I would
Whew.
say 5. So I would say 5 6 years. Like she's been going
Yep.
through it, right? And
Yeah.
I feel badly for Meg in that she doesn't have her parents, and I also feel badly for her because she's in an industry
And that,
that
oh God, take
it's
advantage
like
and
girl,
fake.
I don't know how, and I think she's so desperately starved for real affection and
Yeah.
real love and
Yeah.
real tender
And
care.
safety. I think she wants to feel
That
safe.
too. And I
Mm.
think there was an interview that she did when they were on the red carpet, the two of them, and they asked, like, why do you like him, or why are you with, he's such a kind person.
Hmm.
And that is a telltale that she's
Wanted something more.
starved
Yeah.
for it, right? And so anybody that gives her a little bit, just a little bit, she's willing to spread out, the red carpet for them, cooking for his family, just wanting to be loved, going on vacations with him, buying him this, that, all sorts of thing, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And Meg, what I'm gonna say is, girl, you know I think you need to self-reflect, and you need to, and she also was on Broadway, and she
Yes, I
decided
saw.
not to continue her
Yes.
Broadway stint.
Hmm.
And a
Hmm.
lot of people, have what they have to say about that, and they're
That.
like, don't let him fuck up your money, girl.
Yeah.
And I hear that, but I think that right now Meg is still operating in a space where she just lost her mom. And
Yeah.
hear me out with that. Like, I feel like when she did lose her mom, her world was sent into a tailspin. And I
Hmm.
don't think she ever really got her footing and her grounding. Also, when she lost her mom, just after that, the whole Tory Lanes, and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
just
It was
it
back
just
to
went
back.
into a spiral, like just a spiral. And I don't think she's really sat with herself long enough to really, find provisions to protect herself. Klay Thompson, let me tell you something, Klay. There's two perspectives I'm hearing.
Hmm.
One, that, how could you expect him? He's a player. How could you
Yeah,
expect
but he
him?
didn't. Then he didn't pretend that. Then be
Right?
honest.
And then the other is that he fumbled the bag, and, like, this is Meg Thee Stallion, who knew Klay Thompson beforehand, and blah, 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 blah. Well, no. If you're in the sports world,
You
people know
know,
who
Klay
Klay
Thompson.
Thompson
Let's
is,
not play.
right?
Yeah.
He's not a nobody,
He's
and
not a
he's not a,
nobody.
you know what I mean? Like, he's not a bum here, okay?
No. He
Let's
was on
just,
one of the most winningest teams of the Golden
like,
State Warriors. Like,
when
let's
I'm
not.
hearing the people that I'm like, you listen, maybe you didn't know who Klay Thompson was, but he's out here in these streets, okay?
Yeah.
And he might be concerned about his spot on that team. But anyhow, that's a whole new ball game. But I'm just saying,
Mhm.
if you're in the sports world, you will know of Klay Thompson. He's not, any bum out in the street.
No, no,
But what
definitely
I
not.
will say is that you manipulated that woman. You
Mm.
manipulated that woman. You wanted to be out here in these streets having tons of women doing whatever the hell behind the doors. You know, I can only have respect for people like Klay Thompson if you're straight up real about it.
Yeah.
I can only respect a man who's willing to give you the whole 411 right on the first damn date. Listen, I'm not about that. Okay, I'm not about being your boo. I'm not about
Yeah.
being out in these streets publicly with you. I'm not about that. I'm about having fun in the background, having several women. I think he gave her a facade, and
Mm.
it all came crashing down. And I think, she gave us insight, and I don't
A
want to
little
look
bit.
over it because
Mhm.
she's talking about his attitude around the season, around the
Yeah,
basketball
because
season
he
and
did
stuff.
have a rough season.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What that says to me is that
Oh.
he got somewhat verbally abusive. That's what that says to me. And so if ever Meg the Stallion ever listens to our humble podcast here, Meg, girl, you deserve more than that. Period. Nothing after. You just deserve more than that. You were selling yourself short so that you could have someone around. And even when you did that, you still never won, girl. You still never won. So never sell yourself short. Never ever sell yourself short. And Klay Thompson, you done did this girl dirty. You did her dirty in these streets. I don't care what you have to say. If these, basketball players or athletes or whatever, superstars, whatever, just be real. Just be
Yeah,
straight up and real. You ain't gonna lose nothing. So what? Meg Thee Stallion didn't want to talk to you because you're not
that's
the
okay.
committing
There's other
type. So
plenty of other
there's so
women.
many other chicks, as we can tell, because
Mm,
you're still messing with those other chicks while you got a chick. So, it was all about Klay. And I'm sorry, Klay, but you hurt her. And you're wrong. You're going to receive the backlash. And Meg the Stallion, I'm glad that you spoke your truth. I'm
yeah.
glad that you pronounced it to the world. And, sometimes when you go through a breakup, it's like that person becomes a part of your life. And so that breakup, it's not that clean of a cut,
Mm,
right? Where you could just
yeah.
cut and
And,
clear.
and I heard some women say, these are like people online or whatever, but I think a lot of time when you're in a relationship and you really like the person, even though things goes to shit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You protect their reputation.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that she was honest. She didn't to me be dog him. I don't think she was just honest. She spoke her truth without dogging him. I think like the fact that people are making it seem like, oh, why would she? It's
She
like
told
no,
the
because
truth.
she just told her truth without because
Well,
she could
and
have
the
like
truth. You're out here trying to mess around with all
yeah,
these other women behind
and
my
why I
back.
say that particularly
Yeah. Hmm.
with Clay is because he has this kind of like nice guy, squeaky clean
Yes.
image. So it's
Yes.
like those are the worst, the guys who pretend like they're like, oh yeah, I'm the good guy, da 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 da, and then you turn around and behind
Yeah, and
closed
it seems
doors,
like she's
you're a
not the
different
only one.
person.
This is not the only one. He's done this to. It seems like this is his thing. Like the girls before said, yeah, he never committed. I think it was Coco Jones. Was it Coco Jones he was dating at one point,
Oh, I
or
didn't know that.
somebody in the music world as well.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Mm-hmm.
dating somebody's popular and whatever, and this is just his forte. Either way, Klay, you gonna be fine. You gonna be out in
Yeah.
these streets
Yeah. And
again.
Megan, protect your heart,
Protect your heart, but
unfortunately.
really and truly, girl, really sit with yourself for a
Mm-hmm.
while. Like sit with yourself, learn yourself again, love yourself again, you know, um, and put it in music, girl.
Yeah, put it in the music. Put
Ask
it in the
Mary J.
music.
She'll tell you. She'll tell you.
Put it in the music, my girl.
Put it in the music, okay?
Um, it's a heartbreak is very lucrative in the music industry. Let's
It's
just put it
it's
that way.
true. I mean, you're gonna have your heart broken anyway, so you might as well make a coin.
Right?
I'm
Well,
just saying.
I'm just hoping the best for her and you know,
Because
Clay
it's out
figure
here
it
in
out.
these streets.
Yeah.
It's out here. And so
Yeah.
sorry, what I wanted to say just before we go wrap up with
Yeah.
that is that
Mhm.
sometimes when people are really integrated into your life, it is hard to remove them. And
Right, right.
it's hard to move on. But what I love about what you did was you set the record straight so nobody has to ask you about this.
Yes. I told you what happened.
I know you see it on the blogs. Like
Yeah, it's everywhere.
you shouldn't be asking me not a goddamn thing. Look at the damn blogs. Like she put it out there and she set herself free.
That's a good angle actually. Yeah, it's true.
So go ahead, Meg. Go on with it.
Okay, next we wanted to talk about the Michael Jackson movie
Yeah.
biopic, her biopic, yeah, biopic.
Mm.
That came out. It was released last week. It's done huge numbers. It broke records with 217 million globally for opening weekend. even though the official critics, the movie critics, were pretty harsh. It got very low on the Rotten Tomato site, which we all know that that can't. There's always some bias with those the critics reviews, so
Yeah.
they might point out some stuff that's probably true,
Yeah.
but it doesn't necessarily mean, as a viewer, me personally, that I won't enjoy it.
Right.
So I think from what I'm hearing, I haven't seen it yet. But from what I'm hearing, it's but we've seen in the news that okay, the performances are really good. I think that's been consistent with what I've been hearing, right?
Yeah. I'm hearing
So
the
that I'm
acting was
happy. That's a
amazing.
win. That's
Uh-huh.
a win. I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
First of all,
Mhm.
the second part is there does feel it feels a little bit disjointed because, but then we found out later that they've had to cut some scenes because they pulled out like Diana Ross. Remember Diana? And it's crazy because she would play in his teen years. She plays a big role in his life. So if her scenes got cut, those would be really juicy. They would be juicy parts of the story, his story,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's covering the movie covers his beginning from a child in the Jackson 5 to 1988. That's what they say.
Till around he's 30. He's almost 30 at that point.
Almost 30. So that,
Yeah.
right? So that's what they're covering. I guess they cover up to like a little bit post thriller.
Mhm.
Um so yes, it's going to feel incomplete, but we can't have like this is Michael Jackson. That's why
Like,
that's why the television series makes more sense because you can't tell his story in 2.5 hours.
no. No. Especially
Um,
when you have to gap it up like that. Like
right?
there's
So I
certain
do
parts
think
where
it's
you're
good.
gapping. Yeah.
I guess I do think it was a good idea that they chose a time frame on what story they're going to tell
Mhm.
and just try and tell that story to your best. So but the other thing, so that's the issues people have, the plot, and also they felt like they focused more on the music, but it's like it's like we know the music, right?
Mhm.
Generally, they kind of people wanted this story kind of more like how did he think about it, how did he come with it, come up with
Right.
it, because
Yeah.
it's more like we know the music, tell us the genius of
Right.
like
Behind
the
it.
gene,
Yeah.
yeah. So and I thought, okay, I was like, yeah, that's a good point. So but what I'm hearing is just like, you know what, if you like Michael Jackson, you like the music, you will probably just enjoy it for what it is. But as a movie, it's not like a brilliant, like deep movie.
Masterpiece. Right.
Right. And I'm like, you know what? Sure. And I think they had so much going against them. Like the fact that they couldn't have Janet, they couldn't have, again, Diana Ross to me is a big gap in his stories, and Janet not being there is a big, to me personally, is a big gap. So yeah, but anyway, despite the critics being harsh on it, people turned out, and I'm happy. So 217 million opening weekend.
Woo.
Woo!
Jesus. That's a
Um,
lot.
that's a lot, especially now in 2026.
And
That is
with
a lot
Michael Jackson,
for a biopic. I think it's like the most successful
of
opening
Michael
weekend
Jackson, like,
for a biopic. Yeah, which makes
uh,
sense. It's Michael.
like
We're talking about Michael, the biggest entertainer in the world
ever.
ever,
And the man's
ever.
almost like I think it's almost 20 years he's gone.
Almost 20. Almost he died 2009. So almost 20 years. It'll be soon.
Like when I tell you, like the Lord up above bless Mr. Michael Jackson, okay? Because this
Hmm.
is a gift that just keeps on giving. Because this man, his legacy, they're still fighting over documentaries and it's almost 20 years the man's dead. Like when I tell you, how do you capture such a star? Like how do you
You can, yeah,
capture
you literally can't.
like how
Not in
can
one
you?
movie. Not in one movie for
That's why
sure.
a movie, there should be a series of movies. Like there should be a series of movies and they should break it up into spans of his life. You
Hmm.
know, the early days when he was, you know, a kid up into teenage years, from being a teenager to, you know, maybe his first child or his first wedding or when he was
Yeah.
married to Lisa Marie Presley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's so much about Michael Jackson because his whole life was spent in front of a camera, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, I think he started the Jackson 5 when he was around 5. Was he around 5?
Yeah, it was a very. I think like when they were in the local, like in their neighborhood, like
Yeah,
5 or 6, something or like that. He was
right?
always kind of like
So his
lively.
whole life has literally been in front of a camera.
Mm-hmm.
And so how do you capture all of that? And we're not just talking about a regular schmegular, the mailman. We're talking about Michael Jackson. Like this,
Yeah.
I don't even know how they expect to.
Yeah,
Listen,
and
I
so
know
that's why
fans
my
are going
kind
to
of
be
an
fans, right? And I get
yes,
that part, but we have to be realistic. You can't possibly expect them to capture his entire life in one movie,
right, right,
especially when, like, again, I said he grew up in the limelight. So a lot of the people who he was friends with were famous,
and those
very
famous
famous.
people are going to be protective of their story as well.
Hence
So if they
Diana
don't want,
Ross.
hence Diana Ross said, "Don't you ask me."
Because Diana Ross still is very much alive. Okay?
Very
And
much
she's still
alive.
performing. Okay?
Yes, yes.
We
So,
just saw
but
her the other day.
the
So,
tea on her is that people, and maybe I don't know the scenes that they shot with her, but I don't think the movie, because I think the movie was very gracious in terms of Michael and the people around him. But the tea in real life is that, oh, she groomed him, she
yeah,
used him, and all this stuff, and so that is kind of like the tea. But he did love her off, like that.
he
That's
did.
like that's confirmed. But
This is a lot of people say this is why Dirty Diana, that
yeah,
song came up.
she was the
She
inspiration
was
for
the
Dirty Diana.
inspiration behind that.
Hmm.
Um, and we go listen to the song. Go
If you
listen to
listen
the
to the
actual
song, yeah,
words of the song.
yeah,
And
listen.
he doesn't paint Diana Ross in a very good light in that song, but he does
Mhm.
it very very mystic,
It's
very,
subtle. Yeah, he's
you,
not
you
putting
don't
in. Yeah.
even, right, but it's still there. Go listen to the
Mhm.
song. He's talking about Diana Ross in that song,
Yeah.
and it doesn't age well because Diana Ross was a grown ass woman when he was just a young teenage boy. So
Mhm.
it doesn't age well. But and I can see why legalities and
Yes.
Janet
Yes.
Jackson had her things to say, and I know Paris Hilton, Paris, sorry, not Paris Hilton,
Yes.
Paris
Jackson.
Jackson has come out and said several things. They didn't consider any of
You know
her
what I would find?
opinions.
You know what I would find really interesting, and really interesting angle on Michael Jackson is him on as a dad.
100%.
I think that would be something that's wholesome, for the most part, or not. But like his kids were the people who were closest to him before he died, like
Yeah,
because he was pretty much like shut in near the
yeah,
last few years of his life.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I actually would love that story. The story that they told would be interesting to
But
me.
you see, that's not gonna sell.
No, well, no, you don't think so?
You see, people want to hear all of the Joe
Negative.
Jackson abuse, and
Yeah.
they want all this sensationalism, and it's just like, I think it would be too wholesome to see Michael
Well, it
Jackson as
might
a
not. It might
father.
not be wholesome. I'm not saying it's good. It might not be wholesome. I think it will be just authentic and genuine, and we get to see a side of him that was an entertainer.
No, but
Because
I would love to see the wholesome
uh,
side of Michael Jackson,
uh,
because especially in his later years, they tried to paint him as a villain. So
yes,
to have something wholesome where he is being shown in the light of a father who's caring for his kids, that would have been really nice, actually. But that's not something you can put. Like, how long do you think that movie would have to be if we were to capture Michael Jackson's entire life in a movie? Like,
no, they
really?
can't do it. It's not possible.
It's nuts. I mean, the Titanic is almost 3 hours. Like, Jesus, we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it. Not
Hmm.
even in 3 hours. We couldn't. So I like what you just said, with the TV show, and it we would. I don't know. I could be putting the idea out here, but there could be a TV show where there's multiple actors that play Michael Jackson. There's multiple scenes, parts of his life and where he's gone, where he's, you know, the performances are great, right? But that's already kind of been recorded in history.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. But anyhow, the controversy is real. It's out here. Janet wasn't liking it at all. Paris is not feeling it. I haven't heard anything else from Michael's other kids.
Yeah.
Um, But from what I am hearing, his nephew, Michael
Hmm.
Jackson's nephew,
Hmm.
really did the damn
He
thing.
embodied him. Yeah, people said it was uncanny. That's the word
Right?
being used. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm seeing certain clips, and I'm like, Michael, because he looked a lot like him,
Hmm.
especially in his earlier days around Thriller.
Yes,
I
yes.
was like, whoa, okay, hold on now. But supposedly he had to study for quite some time to be able to embody Michael the way he did. And so
Hmm.
I'm hearing, I have not seen it either, but I will. And I'm hearing that all the performances, all of the actors and
Yeah,
actresses
all the
did
actors
really a
did a
good
good job.
job. And
Yeah.
hopefully it brings attention to those actresses and actors and gives them another chance to do another big box film. So we'll see. But a lot of critics are saying don't expect like this big, blockbuster type of movie. No, it's not
Yeah,
that per
especially like
se.
they said, it's a sign. Especially we, I know we had this debate a long time ago. I can't remember which biopic, but it's always a topic that comes up with these kind of movies. Is the version who's telling the story plays a huge role,
Yep,
right?
sure does.
So it's coming. This movie was pretty much produced and put up by the like very much the family and estate was very much involved. So some the critics are calling it a sanitized movie. I'm
Hmm.
fine. I don't think they didn't lie. As long as you ain't lying,
That's the
it's
thing. They might have
they're
cut
not
some
lying.
things out though. They had to cut some things out from what I'm hearing, and that's because of legalities and stuff like that. And
And that's going to make put the pacing of the movie mess it up. Like
exactly.
once you have like say if you have all how many if you have 5 or 6 scenes, probably
Right.
it seems like it's more, but let's say it was 5 or 6 scenes that were major, again a major player like i.e. Diana Ross, that's going to
Hmm.
cause gaps in the story.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
anyway, I'm glad that it was successful. I'm
Yes.
not surprised. I don't think
No.
anybody should be surprised because people, we're talking about the greatest entertainer ever, like he said, the king of
All
pop
time.
of all time, the blueprint, if you may. So people were going to turn up regardless.
Right?
Okay, so I'm glad that yeah, I'm glad people, the fans, got to see it. I'll see it eventually. I'll definitely watch it
Hmm.
probably when it's comes out when it starts streaming. I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, me too. I hear that.
Okay, next we're going to take a little bit of a pivot here. So we talked about a rapper named David, spelled D4VD. D number 4VD, David. He's a rapper. Never heard of him when this story first broke out in the summer. I think it was around summertime when this came out on our radar,
Yep.
and about a missing lady, young lady, 15-year-old. She didn't even hit 15 actually yet, but let's say 15 because she was supposed to turn 15 that year.
Yeah.
In his Tesla,
Mm.
they found her body. And there's a
Dismembered, cut up.
yeah. They didn't when we first heard the news. They didn't say all that. They just said
Hmm.
they found a body of a missing teenager.
Yeah.
And everybody was speculating, oh, what's going on? Why didn't they just go arrest this guy? Blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
We see, if anybody who watches true crime knows why they didn't arrest him right away. You know what's happening all that time where he's carrying on and gallivanting and act
Yep.
pretending like nobody found a dead body in his car.
Right?
They were building an ironclad case
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
now when they 6 months later, or I don't know how many months later, after a good more than 6 months, but how many months later, then when they go to arrest him, he's not getting out, he's not going nowhere.
No, because they've thrown everything at him but the kitchen sink.
And
They
now, mhm,
everything charges left, right, and center, like all sorts of stuff.
yeah, and like you said, now all the gory details are being released now that they've pretty much put their case together. And again, part of that is she was dismembered with a chainsaw. um Various body parts, fingers, um all of that.
and
He
stuffed
was really
into his trunk.
stuffed into his trunk, very gruesome. Um, and they're saying he did it because she was supposedly threatening to out
Expose
him,
him
expose
for
him,
the creep that he
the
is.
creep that he was. But I mean, and then it comes back. I hate to be the discourse, but now he's locked up. Good. He's never coming out. Um, yeah, he's gonna die in jail. Thank God.
Yeah, because they're asking for the death penalty.
Yeah, even better. Like he's. But here's my thing. Why it seemed like her parents were okay with the fact that she was in a relationship with this person. Did they not know how old he was? Find that hard to believe. I listen, I hear what they're saying is that the girl was very rebellious, but still, even if she's rebellious, make a police report. My daughter is dating this person who's like 22 or however old he was. And she's 14. She was 13 actually at the time when they started dating, supposedly. So even if as a parent you can't control the young lady,
Right?
you need to put fear in that man where he's not comfortable with quote unquote dating your daughter.
Yeah.
So I think the parents are negligent as well in the fact that at least report it. Maybe you can't control her, she's running away and acting wild, but
Mhm.
you need to still,
Yeah.
that's another way of protecting her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Making it hard and difficult and uncomfortable for David to even want to be around her because now the police are looking at him as a statutory rape or whatever the
Yeah.
charges would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, here's the thing, right? And I'm going to digress for just a minute. I'm going to make
Yes.
a point. When I became a mother, I remember my mother telling me, now is your time to set how you want your child to raise. So before the age of 6, your
Right.
child has to understand some things, right? And as parents, sometimes it's hard to put certain limitations or expectations on your child or whatever might be, discipline, whatever it is. But it's fundamental. And this is a case where I can agree 100% with everything that my mom ever taught me when I became a mother. Now, she's 13. 13, okay? And she can control her parents that way, where she can leave the house and be gone and they don't put in a police report for a missing child, for delinquency. None of that. No, we're not going to do that.
I think eventually they did. That's
Yeah,
kind
but
of why.
eventually it's too late
But I
because
think
the
the
first
problem.
night she stays out of that house, it's a
Yes, I hear
done
you.
deal.
I hear you. Yeah. Yeah.
That's all
That's
I'm
kind of
saying,
where.
right?
Yeah.
Because it
Hmm.
comes to it, and that's why I'm started with the preface of that. Before the age of 6, your child needs to understand who is to be respected in this situation, who is the parent and who is the child. And I feel as though those parents are what a lot of parents do nowadays, where they allow their child to parent themselves
Hmm.
and to do as they want and to go as wherever they want. I'm not going to put 100% of this on her parents,
Mm-mm. Hmm.
but I'm going to put a significant chunk because she's a child. You see, he was a grown ass man who should know better and not doing better. But you two are parents of this young girl. You have an obligation. There should be some neglect going towards her parents as well in this situation because they neglected to keep her safe. Now, I understand she's rebellious and I understand all of that, but the police will work with you with children like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay? They
Yeah. Yeah.
will. They'll work with you. There's boot camps. There's religious programs. There's all sorts of
Yeah.
things that are out here. And I say that because as a child myself, I did a lot of what my parents wanted me to do and they expected of me. And unfortunately, my sister didn't. And I noticed very young that the attention always goes to people who are not doing what they're supposed to do.
Mhm.
Okay. So there's a whole lot of programs out here in our communities, in our society to help parents with children who are not doing what they're supposed to do. But let it be a child that's doing the right thing. There's not nearly as many programs. Okay. There's not nearly as much praise for the children who are doing the right thing. So for me, I know for a fact from a early age, I could realize that the ones that do what they're supposed to do don't always get the pat on the back. But the ones
Mm.
that don't, they have the police there for you. They have the community programs there for you. They have boot camp programs. They have religious programs. They have all sorts of programs. And sorry, but I feel sorry for the situation, but I have to look at the parents. And I
Yeah.
have to say, how the hell was she able to be gone, not just for a day? She was gone for weeks. She was gone for long periods of time. Okay. So I don't know how we get here, how that happened, how that was able to carry on. But I feel like there was some sort of a leeway that was given to this young little girl, this
Mhm.
13-year-old girl. Okay. Because let me tell you, you are not leaving my house to go and shock up with a 20-odd-year-old. Nah, fam. We're not doing that. And I feel like her parents needed to push harder.
Yeah, that's what I
They
was.
needed
Yeah.
to. But there's a lot of parents that don't want to push hard. They want to be their friend. I want to be your friend. I told my child a long time ago, I am not your friend. I'm not signing up to be your friend. You got too many friends. Okay,
Mhm.
you need a mother. So I say all of that to say, I'm actually kind of mad at her parents.
Yeah, me too.
I am, because I don't understand why they didn't exhaust all avenues, because it might have just saved their daughter's life. That's all I'm
Mhm.
saying with that. He's a lost case because the devil done take him way long time. So
Mhm.
he's a lost case, and he's facing, possibly the death penalty. They're charging him with everything but the kitchen sink at this point.
Mhm.
And so I don't see him coming out of jail. But you see, this is how disconnected this young generation is. This man drove around with her dead body rotting in the back of the car and tried to explain to his friends and make excuses for the stench of a rotting body. We
Mm-mm.
find out these details. So you're telling me, as a friend, you go into your friend's car and it smells to high heaven of rotting flesh, and you're not going to the police neither? Ain't nobody going to the police. There's too many blasted people that failed this young girl. Just failed her. And so, from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, but how they found her wasn't even like one of his friends. It was somebody else, like a stranger,
Mhm.
that found it and smelt it and found her.
Mhm.
So, how many people sat down in his car? Like, for real? It's so many people. But prayers up to that, to their family. They are going to go through really, really dark days. So I'm going to try to extend some grace towards those
Yeah.
people. But to be quite honest, I'm side eyeing you before I side anybody else, because that's your
Yep.
child.
Yep.
So you should have stopped trying to be her friend and be her disciplinary parent. That's what you should have done. You should have called everybody but the damn judge for her ass, okay? Because your children just, and especially in the States, your children just can't leave home and just
Mhm.
run away.
Mhm.
No, they could get picked up by the cops and put in jail until they can go home. Like, there's so many, but either way, she's gone.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
And so my prayers to her family, RIP to her.
Mhm.
Let this be a lesson for all these young girls coming up, right? Like, look at this as a cautionary tale, right? So,
Yeah. Her name was Celeste Rivas. So RP to her, and
yes.
yeah, hopefully this is a lesson for
Everybody.
all parents, if you really care, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're neglectful people, but we are giving them grace and assuming that they were not purposefully neglectful. But it's a reminder that there are resources to help you. It's never the child's fault. You can't,
No.
even if they're like we're saying, like what I touched on. You need to put in that extra work to protect your child, and it's giving they didn't do that.
And it's
So
giving, why is she running? Is she running from something
yeah,
worse?
yeah, that too. We don't know.
Right? Because that's what it's giving me.
Right.
She's running into the arms of this man, and she knows what he's doing. Because the reason why he killed her, you want to, so the reason why is we find
Mm.
out this man has a whole terabyte
Yeah, I
of,
heard. Yep.
of child porn.
Mm-hmm.
And she knew it, and she was going to expose him. And that's how she ended up dead. So she was willing to run into the arms of that man.
Hmm.
So what's she running from?
Right.
Right? Like, you have to ask yourself that, right? And obviously, if he could do that to her, he started beating her up a long time before he killed her.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know?
unfortunately, that's one of the MOs with men who sleep with underage girls or try and
Yeah.
I won't even call it a relationship, but who target and groom young girls
Yeah.
is they want to have control,
And they
all
and
the
they
control.
take the control through any means necessary.
Mhm.
And but the question still remains. She thought this was better than where she was coming from.
Right.
So
Yeah,
what
those
we
are all the
need to
questions.
do is, while we're investigating this man, we need to start looking into her parents. And we need to
Yeah.
start looking into, do they have any other children?
Other children. Right.
Right? Like, because this girl was running from something then
Yeah, usually kids are usually are.
at 13. Yeah, she was running from something. Whether it's a neglectful family, an abusive
Mhm.
family, whatever it was, she was running. She thought that the arms of the devil was better than where she was coming from. Can you, Lord Jesus? Anywho, Miss,
Hmm.
because poor girl.
Yeah. So rest in peace, Celeste.
Yes,
Um
rest in peace, Celeste. And
we'll take a lighter
yeah,
turn. We have another follow up, but before that, let's talk about Miss Mary. We
Miss
were just
Mary.
you brought her up, but Mary J. Blige recently did a interview online. I'm sorry, my
She's still
mind
talking
is
about it.
blanking on the host. Oh, Scott Evans. Scott Evans.
Yes.
He does a show. It's called Guest House, and I actually like his interviews. They're hosted at his house. I don't know if it's an actually real house, but whatever. It looks like it. But they're usually fun interviews. And Miss Mary did it. I know she has a single. I don't know if she has an album, but there's a new song she has. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and in that interview, Scott brings up the now notorious Burger King ad that she did for their when they were featuring their chicken wrap. And everybody thought it was good. I think he thought it was going to be a key. I think that's why
Yeah,
he
I
brought
thought
it
so
up.
too. I think he thought
And
so.
and Mary turned serious real
Yep,
quick.
real
And
fast.
Mary is kind of generally a serious person. So if she's already a serious person. So if she gets dead serious, you're gonna be like, ooh. so
Right?
so when she brings it up, she said that it's something that she's still I don't know the word she used, but it still upsets her.
Yeah.
That how everything went down, as she says.
Mm-hmm.
Um she felt like the ad was unfinished. She thought it was not good. And she said that she had friends that stopped talking to her for that, which I was like, wow, really? But here's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
And even me, at that time, I was like, why would she do this? Because Mary never, she like, to me, she still has not reached the decline of her career. I still think her career is still very healthy. She's performing, she's making music. So sometimes like the person before who did that was Aretha Franklin.
Mhm.
But when Aretha Franklin did it, Aretha was not actively making new music. So
Yeah.
it's just, something is a check. She's they're going to give her a big check because she has a big
Mhm.
name. So Aretha did it. Fine. But when Mary did it, I was like, Mary, what? Are times hard? Like, it wasn't something that I thought Mary needed to do. So
No.
I was kind of like questioning it myself as a, like, just, and then when I saw the ad, I remember me and a friend were at my house. We might have had a little something, something to drink. And we watched that back to back
Mm-mm.
20 times, and I was rolling. I couldn't breathe. I was rolling on the ground, laughing to my belly bust. I was like, what is this? It's just
Mary
a
J.
comedy.
Blige. Like
It's a
what?
comedy.
Oh
The
my
way they
god.
bring her in and the mic cuts, it's
I
like, what?
know.
It's so funny. I'm like, Mary, that's something you could just laugh at. You can't any
Right?
other thing. You just have to laugh at it. But anyway, so she said you know, yes, how everything went down. She was upset. And I think she's right. Like, yeah, your team did kind of put you in a weird spot and everything, but you too should have been like, hell no, I'm not doing a Burger King
You need to go take
ad.
that up with your ex-husband, okay?
Right, who was
Girl,
managing her
please.
at the time, which is why people were probably annoyed at her. Like the people who probably were riding with her, or probably part of her team, were probably like, "Why the hell would you do this? Are you falling off?" Like it was a signal of something. Because I to this day want to know how much she was paid for that. I don't know what she
It
said,
couldn't
but
have been that much because and I know he walked away with half of it. So when I saw okay, let's go back to that commercial. Okay?
yeah, yeah,
The commercial is funny as fuck. It is
that's
the
so
funniest
funny.
thing out here, okay? Because first of all, Mary J. Blige at that time was the shit. Like everybody wanted to be like, wear like, rock like Mary J.
Hmm.
Blige, okay? She was a verging on a fashion icon,
Hmm.
okay? She was doing so much at that time.
She.
So
Hmm.
for you to go that low to sing about the chicken and the lettuce. I said, Mary, what is going on? Things are getting hard because, okay, now it's always been rumored that Mary might have had a drug problem back in the day. It's always a
Yes.
rumor. We never really know whether it was true or not.
Hmm.
But I know that when I saw this here, I was like, yo, things is getting hard. Can't find that cracking, Mary. What are we doing? The shucking and jiving of it all. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like I to this day, she still has people cracking on her about it, eh? And
Yes,
I
it's
think
never
that's
gonna
why
not be funny.
she was upset and she's still
Yeah,
upset, right? But
because she's
here's the
not
thing.
usually an artist that you laugh at. She's not artist. Mary's not
No,
an artist that you laugh at.
no, not at all. If anything, she's so soulful and so
Yes.
real that
Hmm.
people, you could start crying to a Mary song. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that's how talented she is. And that's why nobody could understand why you would take such a talent that's at the epitome of their career at that point and
Hmm.
go and sing about the McDonald's chicken wrap. Like, what are we
The Burger
doing?
King, not even McDonald's. Like if it was
Sorry,
McDonald's, I might have even
sorry.
been able to understand.
Correction. Okay,
Burger King.
thank you very much. Because McDonald's, sometimes I don't know.
Yeah, the
Okay,
McDonald's has a couple of classics actually when it
okay,
comes to that.
okay.
So like, I'm not even gonna if it was
No, I'm
McDonald's.
sorry, McDonald's. I'll put you down. Put you
So
down.
she got paid 2 million
But this is from the
supposedly.
Burger King people.
The
This
Burger
is from
King,
the
she got
Burger
paid.
King people who
Mhm.
has always been second fiddle to McDonald's. But
Of
anyhow,
course.
when I saw the actual video, okay, I couldn't keep it together. Like I couldn't I know that I busted out laughing. I don't
I know
remember where I
exactly when
was.
you.
I know I wasn't at home when I saw it. I think
Okay.
I was at my friend's house.
Yeah.
And we were just like, this is not real. Like what? Mary J. Blige is singing about the McDonald's sorry, Burger King sandwich. Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you for real? Like, this is supposed to be she's working towards being an icon.
Mhm.
And you're talking about lettuce on the burger? Like, what are we doing? I
This,
I think I lost just a little bit of respect for Mary at that time because I was like, you sold out, man. Like, for real, you sold out. Like, what?
yeah, I
And
wasn't happy that she did it either.
no, nobody was happy because, to be quite honest, it sucked. It wasn't. Mary made it what it could be, right?
Yes.
She made it what it could be. But you're talking and singing about a sandwich. Like, how good could this be? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're making a and that's the thing with Mary J's voice. Like, her voice is so dramatic and it's so soulful, and
Yeah.
we're talking about lettuce on a burger.
Wrapped
Like,
up
what?
in a.
Wrapped up in a, it wasn't even on a burger bun, it was wrapped up in
It
a,
was a wrap.
okay.
It was a wrap.
I can't. I can't, Mary.
Oh my god!
And so when
No,
she starts
seriously.
talking about how upset she was, so in this interview, I'm looking at Mary and I'm trying to feel her pain, and I'm like,
It,
I can't get down
she
with
has
you,
to let
Mary.
that one go. She has to let
You
it
shouldn't
go.
even have brought
It
it up. You
happened.
should have pretended like you don't
Yeah,
know what he's talking about.
because all it did was get people back to watching that that ad again.
Okay, so I hope you got some royalties coming your way. I don't know, but girl, your husband was the one that put that together.
Mm,
Okay. And Mary's one of those people who's always crossed me as she kind of does what her man tells her to.
mm, mm.
And she won't really question it or talk back because let me tell you something. I, at the epitome of my career, wouldn't be singing about wrapped up in nothing. Okay.
Mm,
Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But I think maybe at that time things were hard.
mm.
Maybe things were tight. Maybe she wasn't making as much as she was spending. But what I do know, why are you bringing it up again, Mary? I know the interviewer, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Like, I would have played dumb. I would have, oh, yeah, or glazed over that somehow. You just put so much more validity to why everybody back then was laughing you out of house and home. Everybody was laughing at, to this day, she's lucky there isn't a meme out there. Okay? Because it
Yeah,
was that
they lucky
funny.
they didn't mean that.
She's
You
lucky
just
they didn't
you
meme that.
literally have to go and watch it to get the joke, but you will get a joke. Let me tell you,
Right? So
you'll
she's
get a
lucky.
joke.
Can you imagine there's a meme? No.
Oh no, no,
Mm-mm.
she would even be more furious.
Okay. And sorry, Mary, but you're the one that sold out. You're the one that did it in the prime of your career. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what
that
man
was a
told you
bad
to do
move.
it, but
Yeah.
that wasn't the good look. But now you want, look, girl, you should have just flossed over that. Just pretend like
Mhm.
you don't know what the hell he's talking about. It happened long enough. Nobody really cares that much. You put more sauce on it.
By her
Now
being angry, like it would have been better for you know what, if that's how she really feels, that's how she really feels.
you
But
shouldn't have
I
done
think
it. How many takes did you have to do about the Burger King in the wrap and the no, how many takes, girl?
crispy chicken, fresh lettuce,
It, it
wrapped
was
up
oh,
in a
it was always
tortilla.
the chick and the chick. Always got me every time. And the
Uh,
chicken.
it's like honestly, listeners, if you haven't seen it before, it's classic. Like the irony, just the whole
Oh
situation
my
is so
lord.
ridiculous. It's like you can't do anything but laugh.
And
You can't do
yes,
anything
she
but
is
laugh.
singing about a chicken wrap. Yes.
Mhm.
That's what that song is, a chicken wrap. Okay? Because you might she jazzes it up and she
She
sauces it up
definitely
real
jazz it up.
good.
Yeah.
Okay? So you might get confused and think that this is like a real song. No, she talking about the chicken and okay? I can't. Every time I used to hear the chicken part, I just couldn't.
Ooh, okay,
But you
so
know
we're
what?
back.
That will forever be a meme in my mind.
Yeah,
Forever and
that's
ever.
like funny as fuck. Sorry. Okay, so we'll move on from Mary's trauma. Mary's trauma from doing that ad.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has run. There's runs and everything. It's like a full. No, it's like a full
That's what I'm
blown song.
saying. You might get confused. You might think she's talking about some sort of man that hurt her. No, she's talking about a crispy chicken. Yeah. I just Mary, we
Okay,
love you,
so
girl.
um,
But you shouldn't have done that one. You can't live that one down never.
no, just you gotta just roll with
Just
it.
roll with it,
Okay,
girl. You should have
so
made a
some
sequel.
exciting news. Exciting news. Um, two things. Our Toronto Raptors are made it to Game 7. It was looking. It was like
Yay,
it was an uphill
Raptors!
battle. So Game
Go
7,
Raptors! Go Raptors! It's your
we got
birthday. Go
we got the
Raptors!
game. We got
Hey!
the last shot. We got the last shot in Game 7 to
RJ Barrett, he put that
actually it was
last
game
shot
sorry it
in.
was so yes, RJ Barrett. Yeah, it was Game 6. So now we have a Game 7
Yeah,
because we were able to
Sunday at
survive.
7:30.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes,
Uh,
the Raptors done did it. They have worked their buns off. I think they're finally in a good groove.
mm-hmm.
And we're gonna have game 7. We're gonna see what it is. We're gonna see what it is. It won't be here, unfortunately.
And it's an away game.
Right? It's an away game, and usually most teams do better when they're at home. But you know what? I think the fans, the Raptor fans, they really like when I'm watching these Raptor fans. Like I'm like, first of
Oh,
all, where
Raptors
the hell
fans
are all
don't
these
they don't
people coming
play.
from? Like I didn't even know
They
where the
don't
hell
play.
too many like where do these people come from anyhow, but there's so many fans, and I think that when it comes to fans, Canada, Toronto, Ontario specifically, we come out, we show up.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw the stadium that they were playing in, I was just flabbergasted. I could not believe, like, packed to the brim, even out on the street, like just everybody coming and supporting the Raptors, and they done did the damn thing. And now they're going to game 7 at 7:30 on Sunday. My nails are going to die because I'm gonna be biting off my nails. Wondering, basketball is a game that honestly it can have you at the edge of your seat if you're paying
Yes, that's usually
attention.
it's close. That's the one that's the most exciting anyway.
Well, they had to go into overtime
Mm-hmm.
yesterday,
Yeah.
and it was 110 to 112 109. And RJ Barrett,
Yeah, he hit the three.
he hit that three, came out 112. And so we're going to game 7. So I wish them all the very best. I know that those boys have been working really, really hard. They've been meshing and getting closer together as a team, and you can see that it's working. You can see
Yeah, it's starting to come together.
it's starting to come together, and that they're starting to work more as a team and play
Mhm.
off of each other. Scotty Barnes, I see you doing some spin up things on these courts here. Okay, don't have
Mm.
these people send them out for a tizzy, because he was doing some and switch and turn and flip and I was like, okay, Scotty, this is what we do it. Okay,
Let's go, Scotty.
right? Scotty Burns is out here in these streets. He's making the points. He's doing the things. And so for all the Raptors out there,
Yeah.
congratulations to you guys. You've been working
Yeah.
your buns off to get to this point. We're so happy for you.
Bringing some excitement to the city.
Right. Okay. I mean, a championship wouldn't hurt, but
Yeah.
one step at
I
a
know
time.
but one step at a time. We need to get through game 7.
That's all we gotta do. That's all. So, and I wish them all the best. And here in Canada, like honestly, I really, as a Canadian, I can see we have so much sportsmanship. Like
Yeah, our
we
sports
are
fans are really dedicated.
what we don't
Yeah.
play. Okay, even it's funny because even the people who you don't normally talk to about sports, or you don't usually even talk to,
Yeah.
all of a sudden when there's some sort of a team in Toronto, everybody starts talking to one another. It's like the
Mhm.
new conversation piece, right? It's the new elevator music. It's the new
Mhm.
talking points, right? So it's really nice to see, like, it's bringing our city together. And
Yeah.
so Yeah, but the women, the Canadian women basketball team is
Toronto.
doing
So
some
yeah,
things
so off
too.
of that, so some other excitement with their Toronto basketball teams is so Toronto officially got their WNBA team, which is called the Toronto Tempo for the WNBA, and they are preparing for their first official game here in Toronto. Very exciting. It's now, we have the Tempo now, we have the Raptors. So we just have a whole revitalization of the sport in our
Yeah,
city.
yeah.
And so with us, so on the off season, so when the men are done, the women are just getting started. So that's going to be basketball almost all year round for all the basketball fans and just
Mm-hmm.
any fan of sports, I think. And I think one of the things we talked about when this idea was surfacing in Toronto, I know you and I we talked about it
Mm-hmm.
on one of our episodes. It's just like it's something to do. Like it's like yes, people love sport in Toronto. We have a lot of sports fans. Toronto sports fans support all our teams, winning or losing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
it's true.
so it's nice for all the basketball fans or just general fans to just have another venue to go to enjoy the sport.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they have a their own stadium that I don't know what to call it, like their own like area that they're going to play outside of the Raptors
Okay.
venues. I think it's called the Coca-Cola. Um, I don't know, it's Coca-Cola something, and that's where
Arena?
they're
No?
arena something like that.
Yeah,
That's where
yeah.
they're gonna be playing, and yeah, so the first game is next Friday.
Okay.
Going to
Go
be
ahead,
interesting.
Tempos. I don't know how I feel about the name, guys, but I'm just gonna keep it a buck.
Yes, we debate. I was like, I think it rolls. Okay, here's what I'll give it. It rolls off the tongue, which is good.
It
It
does.
it does. So the Toronto Temple, like it's a fun thing to say, but I was like when it first came out, I was like, what? Come on now, they already think we're a joke. Come on now,
Like tempo,
we're the
really.
only Canadian team. Come on now, we need to give us something to work with here.
Like, give me something. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like names really play a big factor
Of
in
course, yeah.
whatever game, and
Uh-huh.
so tempo. I don't know how I feel. Like, keep the tempo, Toronto Tempos. Like, the
Oh,
name
it's called
rolls.
it's the Coca-Cola Coliseum. It's somewhere on Exhibition Place there, close to Exhibition
And
Place.
you're right. It does roll off the tongue really well.
Mm.
In terms of branding, I could imagine that being right up there. But to be quite honest, like you need to have something I feel that coincides with the male basketball team. So
Some
something in
WNB
the
teams,
dinosaur realm. Something in the
yeah,
dinosaur realm would have been
yeah,
better, I think.
yeah. That's what they do
Um
with some of the US teams do that too. So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be a raptor. It could have been
No,
some
it's something
other,
connected. It's usually something
yeah.
connected to the men's team.
Yeah, like some sort of a dinosaur that is maybe, because I know that they probably didn't want to make the girls' team seem masculine. And so
Maybe that
certain
was the part of it.
animals
Yeah.
might make them seem masculine. Like, the Toronto Grizzly Bears. Like, I could understand, right? Like, I get it, right? In
Mm.
terms of rolling off the tongue, branding, all this stuff. But I just felt like tempo, really? Like, I don't think that holds a lot of weight in, like, like, can
Yeah,
you
you know,
imagine other
actually,
people talking about our team? Oh, the
the Toronto
tempos.
the
Like,
tempos, the
oh,
tempos. Like, what is it? Because a tempo is like an action to me.
that's
It's
what
not a
I'm trying to
thing.
say.
I don't know. Maybe I should look it up. What exactly? Maybe I'm assuming. Maybe there's some meaning to tempo
No,
that
but
we're
it's
being
like
ignorant.
keeping the pace of something, right?
Yes, that's my understanding
It's
of
like,
it.
so when
So I'm
when
wondering.
I automatically think tempo, I think music,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so you're keeping the tempo of music, huh?
right,
No, you should be fierce on the court,
right.
you
Keeping the
know?
tempo. So I was gonna mention. So here,
Or
some of the other
fiery
W.
fierceness or fierce or something,
Listen to
something.
some of the other WNBA teams. Seattle Storm, Dallas Wings,
See?
Los Angeles Sparks, the Minnesota Lynx. You know,
But
although
they
something,
have some sort of aggressiveness behind that. Like,
there's two things that you get with the teams I'm seeing. It's either you have like an athletic or, like you said, aggressive type of like noun, like whether it's an animal, whether
yeah,
whatever, or there's something related to the city.
right.
So like New York Liberty.
Right?
Okay, I get it. That's, the city, Statue of Liberty and everything, all that. Yeah. Okay, fine.
Toronto Tornadoes.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm just saying, tempo, it just seems a
Right?
little
What could we
soft.
say? Okay, what could we say off the cuff? Let's see. So off the cuff. So you said tornado, but we don't get no tornadoes, but
Okay, Toronto
I get it.
Tigers.
Yes, I get it. Yeah, something that
Something better than
works.
tempo. Like,
Yeah, anything.
I'm just saying. I don't
Even
want
if
to
you
think. I don't want the name of the. Like, I understand they're probably looking at. You don't want it to be too masculine. You don't want it to be too weak. You don't want it to be.
yeah.
And tempo is kind of like, like those names that are kind of bisexual, not bisexual, like intersexual.
Androgynous? Androgynous?
Yeah, like Taylor. Like
Yes,
Taylor
yeah.
is a name that could be used both,
Mhm,
either
mhm.
sex. And so I get what they're trying to do, but I think that tempo is just not it. Like it all it
Yeah.
has to it is that it rolls off the tongue.
That's it. That's all. And I'm being gracious. I'm just
Because
like,
when
okay.
you're playing basketball, as we can see, there's no tempo in this.
Mm,
There's no keeping the pace of nothing. Because in basketball, you might have to go hard and then you might have to fall back.
mhm.
You know what I mean? So how you keep tempo in that? I don't get, girl. Mm-mm.
Okay, well, congrats to
Or
them. We're
how about
excited.
the Toronto Towers?
Right. That would have been perfect. Toronto Towers.
Because we have lots of them up here,
Yeah. Toronto
and they're
Towers.
tall. They're tall. They're tall women.
Right? Yes.
Tower. Oh, we tower over
See, you
you.
already came off the cuff. You already got, to me, that sounds really good.
Toronto Towers. You still have the TT.
Yep.
And it still rolls off the tongue, and it applies to the city, and it applies to the women because
Mm
they're gonna tower. We're gonna tower over you.
hmm. Mm hmm.
We're gonna dominate the game.
You see, you got one.
Nobody
See?
asked me.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
because I remember they put out a
I
call for the
know.
team
I
name.
should have.
Yes, we talked.
I'm
You
sure
should.
they did, but I'm probably somebody came up with that name.
Who knows? You'd be surprised. Because to me, if you saw that on the paper, you would, and you saw Temple, you would choose Towers. That's right. You
I'm
should.
gonna go with Tower. I'm gonna go with
Okay.
Tower. Yeah.
Our Toronto Towers are playing, kicking off. They're tipping off next week. So looking forward to them for that,
Right?
and good luck to them on that game.
Yes. Good luck, ladies. You're
For
gonna
our
need to
finals,
keep it the tempo. Like
keep the tempo, ladies.
tempo? This girl is coming a mile and five like at me with this ball. You want me to keep tempos? Listen, I'm sorry. I don't like it. Moving on. They'll be
Moving
fine.
on. Yeah, they'll figure it out. I remember I wasn't a huge fan of the Raptors name when I was a kid, and I mean I was a child, but I was just like
I didn't like it
Raptor.
at first, but
But as
when you
grown, I
got to
love it
know what a
now.
raptor was,
Hmm.
you were like, "Whoa, that's cool." Because a
Yeah, and
raptor really dominated. Like if you think about the time
yeah, I was
of
an apex
dinosaurs,
predator. Yeah, like
yeah, they
in learning,
dominated.
yes, I've come to love it. But it was like as a kid, I was just like
And now we're
Tor-
called the Raps.
the
That's the
Raps.
nickname, the Raps. The young people shorten it up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So how are you gonna
So
shorten tempo? How are you gonna
the
shorten?
temps, the
Oh,
temps.
that means you're not here for a long time.
Yeah. Okay, we have to get over
Oh,
our
I'm
grief
trying with
because
these ladies. I'm
it is
trying.
what it is. Okay, so our final story is related to
Mm-hmm.
we talked about this in our last episode, I think. The story of influencer and creator Ashlee Jenae, also known, her legal name is Ashley Robinson, who was found dead in a hotel room after having a dispute with her fiance.
Mm.
and the hotel had to separate them, and she was later found hung by rope, or I don't know what she was hanging by, but supposedly she died by hanging. Um but of course, with all the outcry on social media and in the news, there's calling for deeper investigation because people didn't buy that story of a woman who went to celebrate her birthday
Like,
and her
please.
engagement with her boyfriend for her to kill herself in
She
such a
got
manner.
engaged while she was there, by the
Yes,
way. So
yes, yes.
she left the America, okay, to go on this trip for her birthday, got there, got engaged, and decided to hang herself. Make it make sense. Okay.
So the update on the story, why we brought it up, because of course there's a lot of unanswered questions. There's a beautiful woman, and her life was taken and supposedly seemed like a setup. We
Yeah.
don't know. It's all speculation. But in this story, this didn't make sense as how it was they were trying to um put it out, right? So after deeper investigation, the investigation is still happening.
Yeah.
So her body has been brought back to the US to her family last
Mm-hmm.
week. However, the family has mentioned that not only was her $50,000 engagement ring not with her body, also her designer handbags and laptop were not a part of the personal effects. The fiance, who everybody is looking at as a possible
Mm-hmm.
suspect,
Mm-hmm.
is back in the US, but the family claims he has been unreachable regarding her belongings. However, which is what I thought when I heard the story, my assumption, or sorry, what I assumed was that the police are keeping that because okay, I don't know why they would need to keep the ring personally, but her personal belongings like her laptop, I would think should be definitely investigated if you're investigating her death. Um so I'm not surprised by that, but the ring and her purses, that's a little bit sus.
The government in Tanzania
Mhm.
was getting way too much pushback because of
Mhm.
everybody on the internet, right?
Right.
And I think they had to move quickly to try to appease people. And I think in that process, they kept her stuff. I
Yeah.
think they kept her stuff.
If you're truly investigating the death of somebody, yeah,
You
you're
should
gonna
keep,
need to
no, but you
keep
should
their
be no,
that's
but
her stuff is evidence.
yes, but so is him. So is
Yes.
the fiance.
Yes, yes,
He's a
yes, yes.
part. He should be still in Tanzania right now. He shouldn't have been back. He should not be back here. Okay, he should
Mhm.
not, because there was arguments that were happening between them where
Mhm.
they had to be separated by hotel staff. Now, I
Mhm.
just want to put that in perspective, okay? Because everybody, all of us grown ass people out here, at least I hope, you've gone
Mhm.
to a hotel or two. Okay. And let me tell you about the hotel people. They don't give not one, two shits about you. Okay? They don't. If you're
Mhm.
not causing a major disturbance, if you, because I've been in hotels where, it's a full family and they have kids, and the kids are going on stupid and carrying on in the room and all sorts of things. Nobody is coming to tell them nothing. It's only when there's a problem that the actual hotel is going to take any sort of involvement. So the fact that they involved themselves, it was bad. It was
Mhm.
bad. Okay, so if it's that bad, then that same man should not be leaving that country until they find out what happened to her. I
Yeah.
understand her body, her family asked,
Mhm.
they raised money and everything to get her body to the US. They should not be allowing to release her body until all evidence, including her stuff,
Mhm.
including her engagement ring, including all of that, can leave with her.
Mhm.
There should be there should be none of that. Okay, now how we operate up here in North America in terms of law is very different than Tanzania. And I
Mhm.
say that because a lot of people in Tanzania could probably be bought, right?
Yeah.
And could be bought off. This to me, the fact that her personal effects are gone, not they didn't go with her body.
Mhm.
The fact that he was able to leave the country, he should be considered a part of the evidence.
Oh yeah.
So the fact that he was able to leave the country, the fact that anything of real value that she owned stayed.
I brought up last time, there was a call. I can't remember the organization, where it was some type of global like human rights investigation to ensure that there was a U.S. Third party. There was some type of third party involved in the initial investigation of her death. There was a
See,
call for that. Who knows if that happened, but there was
that's the whole
definitely an
thing.
outcry for that.
And this is not this gentleman, this guy that was her fiance. He has money and a lot of it,
Hmm.
right? And I say that because
Well,
you
I don't know. He's kind of seeming like a con
well,
man,
yeah,
but
he
let's
is
let's
pretty
just.
much a con artist.
But
He is a
yeah, he
con artist,
does
but he
have
has
some type.
money. He
He
has
has money.
the money somewhere.
Yes,
Because she
yes,
wouldn't be walking around with a $50,000 ring on her finger if he didn't have some
yes,
sort of money. He has
yeah,
some money. Whether it's he acquired that money legally or the right way, that's a whole
mm,
different discussion. But he has money,
you're right.
and his net worth is reported at around 60 million. So even if he did it the funky way and didn't do it the right way, he has it.
He has it. Yeah. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and the type of experience that they were going down to Tanzania to have was not cheap.
Yeah. That's true.
And it wasn't just a dibby dibby something. We're feeding the giraffes. Okay, we're feeding the giraffes out of our window of our hotel. Yeah. So he had money, and all of the things of value somehow didn't make it back with her. So that makes me side eye Tanzania. I think Tanzania kind of jumped the gun because they were getting a lot of backlash, and people were looking at them side eyed, and even being paid off or not being paid. That's speculation, but even if they were paid off, they had to move quickly because people were watching them. And you know, you don't want an American on your soil that shouldn't be there, because the American people will cause a stink. Whether it would have been for this black woman, that's a whole other detail. But in terms of her coming back without her engagement ring, says a lot. It says all of her personal effects that have real value. We're talking about purses that could be sold on the black market. We're talking about a ring that, could probably, once sold, feed their nation for a while. You know,
Hmm.
it's just funny. It's just funny how anything of value is gone. What also is funny is that this guy is not being further investigated in the United States. That's
That's a problem.
that's the problem, right?
But that's probably why it was good. Okay, here is this little glimmer of hope. Again, I'm not a legal expert here, but something I think should be is like, if they have the body here in the United States,
Yeah.
they're both American, even if the crime happened in another country, and if they get her investigated here and say, because I thought I heard this could be a rumor. Allegedly, they said there was evidence of strangulation.
Yes, because
So,
they
mhm,
are currently doing an autopsy on her body in the United States, and
yes,
their preliminary notes is that she
mhm,
was strangled by strangle. She died by
mhm,
strangulation and
mhm,
not through
by hanging.
hanging,
Yes,
right? So, right, because there are different factors to the
yeah,
body.
this is yeah,
What happens if you're being strangled versus you're
hang.
hanging yourself, like your neck
Hmm.
would snap, for
You
instance.
snap, yeah, and you hang your neck would
So,
snap.
right, so they're doing all of that, and they're going to come out with their full report, but their notes so
Initial.
far
Mhm.
are saying this is strangulation, right? And yeah, I know a lot of people will hear strangulation and think, well, that's what happens when you hang yourself. But
No, well,
actually,
there's more.
there's a
Yeah, it's
lot more
different.
to it than that.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
but the fact that they're finding this out
Hmm.
speaks to my point about the Tanzania people and the government over there.
Mhm.
How were they able to determine that and you weren't? Like
Right.
how could the people here just take they're not even deep into her body yet, okay? They're doing
Mhm.
that right now as we speak. But they were able to tell right off the rip that this woman was strangled. How
Yeah.
is it that the Tanzania autopsy wasn't able to determine that?
But did we don't know what Tanzania put in the report, do we?
Well, this is why me talk about the payoff. This is why me I talk about the money with the man off.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking, well, my here's my hope. Again, I'm
Yeah,
not a lawyer, and American law is different too. But it's the fact that they are still both American citizens,
yeah,
and now both their bodies are back in America. American law still
yeah,
applies to American citizens,
yeah.
despite I think where the crime happens. That's the one. That's a question mark for me. And then if it doesn't apply, which I find that hard to believe, but that hey, again, whatever the real law is the real law. But that could be maybe this was something that was planned all ahead of the trip.
Well, that's the way it's coming across, right? But you see, like a mastermind is not going to let you see all of the game, right? And
Yeah,
so I think that he did maybe plan to kill her there. And
yeah,
he
that's
had to
what.
get
Yeah,
her there. And
yeah.
in order to get her there and to get under these pretenses,
The pretenses, yes.
right? That's, yeah. So you probably let her think, oh, you're going to get engaged and you're going to get married, or I want to propose to you, or
Yeah.
whatever. Got her there, got her, he had to propose, he had to do all the what's nots, right? But at the end of the day, he had a plan. Or while he was there, he found out information that he didn't particularly like.
Hmm. Or
Maybe,
or she threatened him with releasing information that he didn't
and
particularly like.
that too, or she knows a lot,
Yeah.
and especially with him being accused of scamming with his
Hmm.
businesses, because you mentioned that she could
Hmm.
know something about that,
Hmm.
or have access to that information.
Hmm.
And so he made sure he took care of things, and he went to a place. And I'm not trying to be rude to the Tanzanian people at all. I'm sure your country is a great country, I'm not saying that. But he also took her to a place where they might not necessarily honor the judicial system in the United
Listen, the
States.
Tanzanian people themselves have come online and said this. So
Oh, okay. So
they are even warning
I'm
us.
not even
So don't feel
far-fetched,
bad. They're the ones who said, Americans, listen, these
right?
police can be bought.
Oh,
So
okay.
investigate
Right?
this.
You better look into it.
I saw a story or a post from a woman who was saying that. So that's kind of where it even came to my mind. I wouldn't have
Right?
known.
Well, you know what? With Ashlee Jenae, I her family, prayers up to you guys, because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like you're gonna have a long fight ahead of you.
Yeah.
But I hope that her body will set the record straight
And tell the story, the
and
true
tell the
story.
real story, right? And that if he is the person that hurt her and that killed her, that he gets your family gets justice, and
Mm-hmm.
that he is found guilty and put in jail and all the rest of it. In terms of, women out here in general, just be careful, man. I've learned that you'll never really know somebody, right? You'll never really 100% know somebody. So you got to at least make sure you can vet the person enough where you'll come home and not in a body bag, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You got to know who you're traveling with. I know she was dating with him for about a year and change, but
Yeah, that's which is not that long.
it's not that long not to be
Mm-hmm.
going to Tanzania and all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can we go somewhere local first, sir? I don't know if you crazy up in these damn people's hotel. Let's go to the Bahamas, somewhere closer. Thank you. But all jokes aside, prayers up for her family, and RIP to you, Ashlee. And I do pray that you get your justice, because you deserve that. And at the very least, that this man be found out, and God will have his way in working that out with when it comes to him. Um, but I'm glad your body is here with your family and you can be laid to rest properly. And, in terms of this man,
Mm.
the internet don't play. The internet don't sleep.
No, like he's not gonna be having a very restful
No.
few
And
months until we figure this out.
whatever scam you might be running, you might want to wrap that up, friend, because they're going to
Yeah,
be
he's
looking
under a lot of
heavily
scrutiny.
into you now. Like,
Heavily, a lot of scrutiny.
right? And a
I
lot of
expect to hear
people
more
looking
about
at
him.
you, finding out what's going on, what you doing, what's popping. There's going to be people looking into you. And one thing I've learned is that, when people won't want to do business with people like you,
Mm,
they just won't. So, hopefully you get your just dues that way. But either way, all in all, all in all, I hope that, her family has some peace now. At
hmm
least she's home. You can actually get to the work and finding out what happened and what's going on. And hopefully you do get her belongings because they are hers. Hopefully the Tanzanian government will say, you know what, we might want to change our rules just a little bit around here. Might want to do things more legit or whatever it might be. But all in all, you know what? Gotta be careful in these streets. Both men
hmm
and women, we need to be
hmm
careful in these streets. But all in all, we do hope that your hearts and minds were activated on this week's show. So whether you lead with your heart or your mind, please stay passionate and thoughtful. We'll talk to y'all real soon. Bye.
Bye.